watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. This is the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show, where we bring you nothing but the best of what you should expect or what you missed during the week. I'm your host. My name is Precious Mzeya Sakaleji, and joining me on set is
Mr. Michael Chota. Good morning, Precious.
Mr.
I have to be formal.
I don't know why these kids want to grow up, Mr. Michael Chota.
Mr. Michael Chota, to you. How are you, Precious?
I'm fine, Michael. How are you?
Good
to see you.
Good to see you. Good morning.
It's so surprising that we work at the same place and we only get to see each other on Saturdays.
Imagine.
Friday and Saturday, because Friday is...
Yes, Friday, because you know, there's beans. There's beans and
there's beans and, you know, yeah, that's special lunchtime meal. That's but anyways, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a very, very interesting week. We had the swearing in of the 7th Republican President, His Excellence, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and the Vice President, Madam Mutale Nalmango. And also not forgetting, we had an appointment yesterday.
Yes.
One of the first people to be on the list of the UPND cabinet, which is Mr. Sokotwane, as Minister of Finance. Now, getting to the appointment, yesterday's appointment, he actually was holding the same position 10 years ago, and no, not 10 years, 10 years before this government that just left.
Yes.
The 10 years. So we're talking 11 years back.
Yes.
The MMD regime. Under Rupiah Banda. Yes. So I feel for this new government to appoint him in the same position that he was in the other regime. I feel they did their research and they saw how things were flowing when he was actually handling finances. And I can say we are safe. If they know what they're doing, then we're safe. We're just hoping that he does a good job.
Definitely, definitely. It's a very competent appointment, very experienced, best experience. So we're very excited for that appointment in cabinet. Yes,
of course. And not forgetting, there's so much drama going on in different political parties. I love political drama because then I get to see if that certain political party can rule a nation if they can't sort out their in-house wrangles there. Yeah. What about national matters? I'm talking about MMD, the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy. No, actually, it's the the Patriotic Front. They had appointed Mr. Given Lubinda as their vice president. He was appointed, a letter assigned to him from the party's presidential candidate, or the party's president, which is the former Republican president, Mr. Edgar Lungu. And they're petitioning that. Okay, there are some fights from party members to say, no, we can't have him as our vice president. So we're yet to hear how that turned out. Not forgetting Mr. Raphael Nakachinda, actually. He has, what is it's a campaign?
The Binoculars.
Yes, it's a campaign called The Binoculars, where he says he's going to be doing the checks and balances with the new government, which is under the UPND, just to make sure that they deliver on their promises and stuff like that. Quite interesting, I would say. It's been a very interesting week. Remember that you can also come through and tell us what topic that you thought actually made your week and what your opinion is on that particular topic. You can call us or get to our Facebook platform. Now, before we get in, do you exercise? I forgot to ask you this question last week.
Do I exercise?
Yes.
Yes, I exercise. I go to the gym.
Why are you lying?
Serious, for real, Precious, for real. We go to the gym.
When do you go to the gym?
I go on the weekends. And then at home, I have my own personal home workout.
How long is it?
It's about 30 minutes to an hour.
You need to ask your wife. Does he? She's your wife.
Madam.
She's your wife, so obviously she will have your back. So on this one, I can't even know if you are lying or not.
Can you respond?
But anyways, talking about exercise, it's that time of the show where we get into morning boost, making sure that you just stretch one or two muscles. If you you don't actually have to wait for Saturday to do that workout. You can do it in your house at the comfort of your home. All you need to do is just go on the net. You have access to certain exercises that you need to do to work on certain things, legs, arms, yeah, the body and stuff like that. So let's quickly get into the morning boost, and then we'll continue with the conversation on the other side. Good morning.
It's a beautiful morning and I welcome you to Morning Boost. I'm so glad that you've tuned in and hope you had a great night. So let's do some workouts this morning and we're going to have a great time. So we're going to start with a warm-up and then make some aerobics movements for today. Okay, ready? Let's go. A beautiful morning to everybody and welcome to Morning Boost. Let's go. Go. And the V step now. Let's go. Last V step. Back to step touch. V step. Let's go. Let's go. And marching. And 4, 3, 2, step touch, go. Bring in your hands now. Let's go. Let's go. Just a quick workout in the morning. Not a full-fledged workout, no. Keep going. And 4, 3, 2, hamstring, go. Four, 3, 2, step touch. Four, 3, 2, and hamstring. And 4, 3, 2, step touch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Keep going. Stay at it. Go. Easy basic workouts for the morning. And marching. Skip, jump now. Go. Let's go. Skip. Try this. Even if you feel heavy in your body, you can do this. Let's go. There's always a first time. You may struggle, but it's doable. Let's go. And 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Change now. Let's go. Very easy for a morning workout. Lift your knee very high. Go. Let's go. Stay at it. Stay at it. We're going to bring in a kick now from a knee high to a kick. Go. Go. Let's go. Let there be a blood circulation on your legs so that you don't have that numbness you feel at times. Kick. 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 Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Straight kicks now. Go. Straight kicks. Go in the sides. Okay, keep going. Almost done with our 5 minutes workout. Knee high. Try this every morning. It's gonna do wonders to your body. Let's go, we're almost there. All right, team. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This is Isaac Matsa, your presenter. I'm gonna see you next time at the same time, and have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Welcome back. You're watching the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. That was our morning boot session. Hope you managed to stretch 1 or 2 muscles. And also, like I always say, breakfast is a very important meal of the day. It helps you carry your day. It gives you the energy that you need for that particular day or for that particular day task or the day-to-day errand. So now moving on to what has been happening during the course of the week. There were issues about why the new president, the 7th Republican president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, hasn't moved into State House yet. There are some talks here and there where they were saying, no, he's going to use his residence as an official place for appointments or official meetings. But the head of state needs to move into the State House, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it a mandate, though? Is it a must that when you're president, you move into State House?
I can't really answer. I would assume so, yes. I think eventually he will move into State House. I don't think he has refused to not go in.
Which brings me back to the comment I made last Saturday to say, when there's a new government, you don't expect things to happen just there and then. There are certain procedures that need to be followed. Like Kelvin Waliafu mentioned, there are certain procedures that His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, needs to follow before he can occupy State House. So it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't just happen when you're sworn in, then you get into moving your stuff and get into State House. There are certain procedures, there are certain things that you need to be, what's the word, guided into.
Yes.
Obviously, there are do's and don'ts at the State House. So there are such things. And also talking about, we're now pinning out one by one what has been happening in the course of the week. I haven't heard from Chishimba Kambwili.
Yes, Mr. Kambwili.
Patriotic Front member. I haven't heard from him. What else? I know our former Minister of Health's account have been frozen.
Yes,
and also Valden Finlay and also one other person, they're under investigations. I'm looking forward to hearing about the 48 houses and the fire tenders.
Yeah, but just on the State House, I think, just to bring you back.
I think I need to read through the Auditor's General report.
Yeah, we can see what was said there. In terms of moving in, for example, the other previous presidents, for example, His Excellency President Edgar Lungu, he took about 51 days to move in.
Which is...
Michael Chilufya Sata took about 90 days to move into State House.
3 months.
3 months. So I think eventually President Hakainde Hichilema will move in. It takes time, as you say. It's not, everything's not going to happen overnight. So I think people need to be patient in that aspect. Yeah.
Okay, and also campaign binoculars, where Mr. Rafael Nakachinde is actually...
That was funny.
He said
That was funny.
For those that actually missed this news item, okay, this is what happened before I play the clip. Isaac, hope you're getting it ready. He literally had a binoculars.
That's right.
Okay, and he says he's going to place vehicles in all the provinces to make sure that the new government delivers their campaign promises. One of the main things that he was focusing on is the free education. And he said, while we are getting ready for opening of schools, universities and colleges, parents should only focus on groceries and other items, commodities and stuff. You don't think about school fees and stuff. And I'm looking at that press briefing and I'm like, I know the dollar's movement is actually very impressive. The last I checked, which was last night, it was at 15.97 per dollar. So now I'm thinking, is he trying to look at things, the transition of power and things starting to happen in just a short period of time?
Well, not, it sounds like Comedy Central, to be honest, but honestly, it's very funny.
He's been quite vocal, I would say, of late.
Yeah. It's because everyone wants to now start throwing the stones and say, no, this one, yeah, we're going to check this, we're going to check for this. Others were saying we want the dollar to be at 9 kwacha, 24 hours. So
you don't just snap fingers and expect things to happen like that.
It's true.
And also on the other side, prices of food prices to actually go up. The inflation rate.
Bread was 18 kwacha.
Inflation rate has increased compared to last month.
Yeah.
Bread is how much?
18 kwacha in some places.
I bought bread at 20 kwacha.
Wow. Wow, for real?
Yeah.
Milk bread or just normal bread?
White bread.
Wow.
Well, they bribed me with like a small pack of milk. So it was the big loaf with the small pack of milk, and it was 20 kwacha.
Really, wow.
20 kwacha point 10 ngwe, I think something way. So now, getting back to Mr. Raphael Nakachinda, for those that missed this news item, here's what he said.
Journey in the governance of this country for the European will be characterized by proper checks and balances. That's why today I have come to announce to the Zambian people that the opposition voices, not only this one, but many that are rising, we are launching today what is called Operation Binoculars. Operational Binoculars entails that we are going to be watching this government and their president very closely in their chamber, in their open place, in their secret conversations, to make sure that whatever they plan and meditate to do is in the interest of the public of Zambia. So these binoculars are to watch UPND. Operational binoculars is working on all the four corners of this country. There's nothing that the UPND will do that will be permitted that is against the interests of the Zambian people. We are ready to die for our democracy. We are ready to die for our sovereignty. We are ready to die to protect what was achieved in 1964. No American, no European, no imperialists will be allowed to capture state power through the back door to try and advance their continued cannibalization of our natural resources. So our bashing imperialism.
There you have it, campaign binoculars.
Binoculars, very serious.
Like I mentioned when we were talking about UPND carrying the day when we had the general elections on the 12th of August 2021, I mentioned to say I'm giving this new government 3 years. For me, I feel that's enough time because there are projects that the previous government started and they didn't finish. So I'm going to give them that time to sort out the projects that were there before they came into government and then start their work. Okay? So, and then that will leave them with 2 years to do the magic. That's me. Okay, so if you are expecting things to just happen overnight, then let's be realistic about these things. Let's be fair about these things. So now talking about the president being sworn in, and also my favorite moment was when the vice president, Madam Mrs. Mtalina Almango, was actually saying her, what do you call them? With the Bible and
yes, when she's taking the oath. Yes.
Yes, when she was taking the oath, she was very emotional. Like,
hey, she was.
The camera had moments on her, and I'm like, yes.
How, as a woman, how you relate? You feel?
I was overwhelmed.
Oh, you're so crying.
Okay. Crying, yeah, I was overwhelmed. And I was really impressed that we have maintained that, because our previous vice president was Madam Inongewina, who is a female, and also the running mate for the Patriotic Front was a female, not forgetting we had a female presidential candidate,
yes,
Madam Kateka. Yes. So for me, I feel we just need to prepare the political playing field and making sure that it's violence free, because I feel women are like an egg. Okay, in as much as we come out, you know, I feel there's just a certain way a woman needs to be treated.
Yes.
Okay, so same political playing field, away from violence. We're motherly human beings. Okay, naturally we're motherly. Now imagine having a female president. Like she's gonna take care of the nation like a baby. Like, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just like the guest which we had last week, you know, it's just for women to represent other young girls.
Exactly.
It feels good when a woman is there to represent the future.
Yeah, so we're hoping to see more of female presidential candidates this coming election, which is 2026?
2026.
2026. So yeah, so if you are into politics and you feel that you can actually stand up and be that presidential candidate and be the president of the Republic of Zambia, then go for it, girl. You got this. We got you.
I like the moment the VPs did this.
Yeah. So yeah, the vibes. So now getting on to when His Excellence Mr. Hakainde Hichilema was being sworn in case you missed the moment, which was rare that you missed it, but just in case you did, here's just a clip on how it went down on the other side.
After failing 5 times to ascend to the highest political office of the land, Zambia's Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has finally been sworn in as the country's 7th Republican President, together with his running mate Madam Mutalena Lumango, at a colorful ceremony held in Lusaka, attended by over 50,000 people. Accompanied by his wife Mutinta Hichilema, the joy of the many who came to witness the event could be felt whenever the president was shown on any platform. And speaking shortly after being sworn in by Acting Chief Justice Michael Musonda, President Hichilema has promised to restore the rule of law, general order in public places and communities, and return the country back to normalcy.
We will promote unity and diversity and ensure respect for fundamental human rights, liberties, and indeed freedoms for all our people. We will restore the rule of law, general order in our public places and communities, and return our country back to normalcy. Read my lips, no capitalism from any political party. We will live up to our campaign promises by ensuring that all citizens are equal before the law. All citizens are equal before the law, without exception. Absolutely none anything close to animal farm.
The head of state has also assured jobless youths that a new dawn has come where youths will be skilled and find opportunities to work or do business in an economy that his government will revive.
This victory is not mine, but for all the citizens of our great country, especially the youth who turned out to vote in great numbers with great energy. I shall repeat that. This victory is not mine, but it is for all you, the citizens of our great country, especially the youth of Zambia, who turned out to vote in great numbers with great energy and passion and made this day possible. To the jobless youth, a new dawn is here, where you will be skilled and you will find opportunity to work or do business in an economy that will be revived vigorously very soon ahead of us. Barry and the team will fix our economy, but we will do more than just fixing the economy.
And the president has paid special attention to lowering the fiscal deficit, reducing public debt, and restoring social and market confidence.
We shall have zero tolerance to corruption. Shall I repeat that? We shall have zero tolerance to corruption. This will be our hallmark. The fight against corruption will be professional. It will not be vindictive. We will not be going out there for retribution or vengeance. That is not for us.
The president also took time to highlight some of the key priority areas his administration will pay attention to.
Some of our key priority sectors that will drive economic growth and reduce poverty are agriculture, mining, energy, financial services, tourism, technology, health and education. In agriculture, we will work to enhance production, agriculture extension services, market access, value addition, and lowering the cost of inputs, the cost of production, that area very well. We shall promote expansion on the mining value chain as well as the promotion of mineral diversification. We will therefore encourage the production and processing of gemstones, gold, nickel, manganese, iron and industrial and other minerals. We will put in place measures to facilitate local ownership. You have heard me. You have heard me. We will put in place measures to facilitate local ownership and increase participation of Zambians in this important sector.
President Hichilema also took time to thank the opposition political parties that took part in the election, the church and traditional leaders for the role they play in the Zambian economy. He has also invited all political parties to work with his government within the remits of a democratic society. And President Hichilema thanked the former head of state, Mr. Edgar Lungu, for his service to the nation and facilitating a smooth transition. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Well, there you have it, in case you missed the ceremony, the inauguration ceremony where the 7th Republican president was being sworn in with his vice president. One of...
Say it, you can say it, it's okay.
No, I'm trying to find a word. It was a moment.
Okay.
It was a moment. I was very impressed with the crowd in and outside the stadium, even when His Excellency was actually headed to the stadium. The atmosphere was just so peaceful, and yeah,
it was very good.
At some point, they were screaming Bali, 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 and then something that's trending on social media on a lighter note, the song.
Oh.
Welcome to the celebration, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, boys and girls.
Hey.
Celebration.
It was happening.
I was like, huh. And then
the doves, the balloons, that was beautiful.
Yes, and then there was that. I had a moment also when there was that I don't know what it's a Tonga song. Din, 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 din. I was like, fam.
Hey.
I feel like a king is being put on his throne.
Yeah.
It was a great event, I would say, overall. And also now getting into what has been happening, in as much as we are talking about presidential seats being taken, parliamentary, councillor and mayor seats, there have been petitions that are actually being thrown in the air from the UPND, the United Party for National Development mayor candidates. They say that the numbers were tampered with, and they say they have enough proof to actually support their petition. So let's take a look at this, and then we continue on the other side.
Things that you are writing here, you don't write Gen 20s here. Gen 20s should have been written. Today is the 26th.
Confusion erupted at Nakatindi Hall, Lusaka Civic Center, as some post staff were found by the UPND Alliance members filing Gen 20 forms for the just ended August 12 general election. Some officials attempted to run away, but it was an exercise in futility.
Cooking up figures. Hello, can you go? Hey, don't run away. Can you call the police to close? Hey, don't run away. Can you close? Don't run away. No, people catch them. Let them not run away.
Upon extensive questioning, one of the ECZ staff claimed to be ignorant over some irregularities observed in some documents under his signature.
So is there anything that you found there?
Yes, like on my form. Like on my form for this presidential,
yes.
I think ballot account form. I think I found one. I didn't write it myself. So.
Oh, you didn't write?
No.
A Gen 20?
No, not Gen 20. I think presidential sister account form.
Things became tense as the UPND officials, accompanied by the police, apprehended all the present post staff to to advance the case to Lusaka Central Police. Upon reaching the police station, the complainants, Mr. Victor Nyasulu, the UPND losing Lusaka mayoral candidate, losing Chawama constituency member of parliament Port Fatembo, among others, presented the said evidence to police officers.
A Gen 20 form cannot be tampered with in any way, but we have come here and we found that something is happening to some Gen 20 forms, and that is why we are calling this election into disrepute, because we find it unacceptable that G20s can be tampered with.
Rewriting the Gen 20s today, the 26th of August, and the Gen 20s which should have been written just on the 12th after counting in the face and presence of all the relevant stakeholders.
Trevor Mwinda, the UPND National Deputy Chairperson, claims the elections were compromised and the party demands justice to prevail.
Making sure that where we were popular, we did not get the correct type of results by disadvantaging our candidates in the Mandevu constituency, Matero constituency, and the Chawama constituency, meaning that even the mayoral results were also deeply affected. As United Party for National Development, unity is our concern. Our president has reiterated the statement that this country needs to be united, and we had no very serious intentions to petition these elections, especially at parliamentary and mayoral level. But we have got overwhelming evidence, that which now makes it possible through our elections office. We will make sure that we proceed with the legal due process of the law to make sure that the correct results the Zambians are told.
The UPND Alliance believes the alleged evidence is overwhelming to prove its petition case. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Well, welcome back. So that is the drama that is going on from the UPND and other political parties when it comes to numbers being tampered with for the mayoral seats. So, yeah, petitions have started flowing in.
Petitions after petitions.
I know we will see a lot of court cases. Though the ruling party have mentioned to say they're not witch hunting. They're just going to what has been left and dealt with, and then just get it over with, just to see who did what and what they did and how far the case is and stuff like that. So we are yet to see a lot of cases. I want to see how that petition is going to turn out, and also not forgetting the Patriotic Front. I feel like Mr. Given Luminda is not a bad presidential candidate. I feel like that.
Presidential for his party or for the
for Patriotic Front.
Oh yeah, for Patriotic Front, yeah. No, it's good.
It's not bad. No, yeah. I don't know. I'm not a politician, and I've decided to distance myself. But then I was just forced to get into it during the election time, and now because of the breakfast show. But anyways, also the talks of the town about His Excellency moving into the State House, and also what was being talked about. KBF Kelvin Waliafube, who is the UPND Alliance partner. Okay, he's a lawyer. He mentioned quite a number of few things and tried to defend why there is a delay, why His Excellency is not moving into State House. There have been different talks from different political parties, those with interest, good or bad, mixed emotions as well. But we wait to see when he is actually getting into State House. But before we get into that, just a reminder, we will be having Madam Eneli Imasiku, who will be coming through and just telling us more on what Plan International Zambia has on the talk of education in Zambia. So before we get into that, let's just take a look at this clip from Kelvin Waliafube, and then we'll be back on the other side.
United Party for National Development Secretary General Batuke Imenda suggested that President Hakainde Hichilema was going to remain at his residence, which is called Community House as opposed to State House, thereby raising questions from some members of the general public. The issue was later clarified by Mr. Imenda, but during the UPND Alliance media briefing in Lusaka Thursday, The media sought the opinion of prominent lawyer Kelvin Waliafube, commonly known as KBF, who clarified that State House is the only secure place for the head of state.
There are things that are done by government which are preliminary. So let's not rush. President Hakainde's home, we call it the community house, is not a gazetted state house. That's his residency. It's his home. And for security reasons, he cannot stay there forever. I think in front of State House, you know, there are barracks. There's a reason why the State House is near the barracks. So he will move, but give him time. These are teething problems within government.
He says people must give the president time to settle, adding that government processes are being followed to put things in place.
So there is no suspicion that must come from the press and your good selves to start thinking that maybe our current president is resisting movement. He is not. Today, there is no Minister of Works and Supply, so who's going to do the budget? There is no Minister of Finance, who's going to buy him the furniture? Give us time. Give the president time. Don't make it seem like he's an impossible person. He is not. The president will be directed by security wings, by the Secretary of the Cabinet, whoever he appoints, that his home is now ready. And he shall move at the appointed time.
And KBF has agreed with the views of State Counsel John Sangwa that the country must undertake constitutional reforms to fine-tune the constitution.
It will be up to this parliament, perhaps, to make clear, thoroughly clear, what the Zambian people want. We don't need other constitutional review commissions because they'll just eat into money. We can have a very small technical team, and then that can submit to the, parliament the changes that are required. I think right now the UPND Alliance has enough members of parliament to pass those little legislative amendments which can clear up those technical issues which seem hanging.
One only hopes constitutional reforms will be done taking into account the interest of all citizens. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
So there you have it. 0968675273 in case you have anything to say or get to our Facebook platform.
Yeah. It's a good interview there. The one we just saw.
Press briefing.
UPND Alliance partner.
Yeah.
It was saying basically you can't pressure the president. Just take it easy, give him time.
There's just certain things that you can't push.
Yeah. Don't make it seem like he's been an impossible person.
I think let's just follow the procedure, guys. Yeah. I know we're excited. New regime, new government after 10 years, but yeah,
it'll come.
Let's give them some time to work. Let's not push them under pressure. In as much as we want certain things to be done there and then, we need to understand that certain things work well when there's enough time. Like there's a certain pace, certain things move at. So let's not just rush things. But anyways, you're still watching the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show with me, Precious, and Michael on the other side. At this point in time, we will get into our interview of the day, and then we will be joined by Madam Aneli Chiwe Imasiku, who is from Plan International Zambia. We'll just get to hear more on their works on education in Zambia, and then after that, we might actually pack our bags. So hope you learn one or two things as we get into this interview. We'll be back on the other side.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, just another channel.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties, on +260 762 166 018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Welcome back to The Breakfast Show, Camnet TV, not just another channel. We are joined with our special guest today, Mrs. Anele Chibwe Masiku. Welcome, madam, to The Breakfast Show.
Thank you, and good morning, viewers.
Yes, how are you feeling today, madam?
I'm excited.
You're excited to be here?
Yes.
There's a new president, there's a lot of excitement in the air.
Yeah, I think it's just a good day.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
Okay. You're representing Plan International Zambia.
Yes.
So we wanted you to speak on Plan International Zambia briefly. Just tell us, what is Plan International Zambia all about?
Okay, so Plan International is an international non-governmental organization that works around ensuring that the rights of children are respected, and more so equality for girls. So we are a bit bolder when we're talking to girls, issues affecting girls. Not to forget that even the boys are important. So it is an organization that will look at the plight of children, their rights, and ensuring that they're growing and reaching their full potential. But we have a slight bias towards the girls, and this is because we already know how vulnerable the girls are, how also within the societies that we live, we have these gendered barriers that affect girls. So even in our way of programming, we pay a little more attention to what is happening with the girls, so that with the boys and the men, we are bringing the girls to a place where they're able to be equal individuals and are also enjoying their rights as human beings.
That's beautiful. And so in terms of your work on education with the girl child, what are your practical experiences in the community?
So working with very closely with the Ministry of General Education, we are in different communities in Luapula, in Eastern Province, in Central Province, and now we have some programming in Lusaka. So we are at a place where we understand what is happening with the girls from the results. This is the learner outcomes, but also the statistics that are coming from the ministry itself. In our programming then, we begin to pay attention to the things that I spoke to. Issues around retention of the girls, completion of the school, and also excelling into the next higher levels, secondary school, and eventually tertiary, and getting into a space where they have a career. So you will also understand that from the statistics that we have, we see a trend where girls begin to drop out of school at about grade 5, and it becomes worse in secondary school. And then we see that the trend continues even in the tertiary space. That in itself creates a cycle of poverty around girls, young women, and also removes them from the space to also participate as equal citizens. What are some of the things that are causing all those things? There are a lot of investments that have gone into education. We still have girls falling pregnant. We still have girls getting married early. So with Plan International, at Plan International, we believe that if we tackle the root causes of those results that we're seeing, and this is to attack the norms that we have. How do we begin to socialize a child? What is it that we tell a child from the early ages? How do we relate with our children, be it girls, be it boys? How do we, furthermore, get into the system itself in the education sector? What do teachers do in the classroom? Are they aware of the differences between the girls and the boys? So if I'm teaching mathematics, who am I calling out? Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm calling out all the boys' names. Eric, can you sort this out for us? David. So when you come to home economics, I change. Precious, give us a demonstration. So already, as a teacher, I'm telling the girls, for you, it's the cooking and everything else. For the boys, it's the mathematics and the science.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are working very closely with the different stakeholders to ensure that the education for girls is actually something that excels.
Okay, and just to make mention, you had mentioned some of the challenges which girl child faces, early child marriages, teenage pregnancies. In terms of the partners who you do work with, like your stakeholders, could you possibly maybe mention a few of those people that you work with? Because this is a big task, you can imagine.
Yes, so we have different organizations that we're working with. We're working with, for example, we collaborate with Child Fund, we collaborate with Save the Children, we collaborate with ZANEC. So we have a whole lot of stakeholders that we collaborate with. Truth be told, Plan International alone cannot tackle the issue of education in solitude. So we need different stakeholders to come to the table. And we also need the greatest stakeholder, the ministry itself. So dealing with all those things, we also have a strategy where we're looking at the different themes around education. For example, social accountability.
Yes.
How do we ensure that the quality of the education that is being channeled out is one that will give us skilled and functional learners? How do we ensure that the spaces where these children are sitting is actually promoting the learning? How do we ensure their safety in these spaces? How do we ensure that these spaces are inclusive when it comes to the girls? For example, menstrual hygiene management. Do we have the facilities at the schools? So all those are discussions that we have with the different stakeholders, but also building the capacity of the learners themselves to begin to value education and to also begin to be the ones that question the variance in terms of policy implementation and delivery of service at school level.
Yes, definitely. And in terms of, you just mentioned the ministry as well as help, how do you feel about female representation in government? We've seen now a trend where the vice president is a female. What are your thoughts as a woman in terms of seeing that representation in the government?
I'm excited that we have a role model that is female and is telling everybody it's possible to be a president.
Yes.
But beyond that, we need more numbers of the females. It's not that Zambia is short of qualified females. They are there. So being in that position is one thing. Being very functional and result-oriented is another. But also removing it from just because we are ticking a box.
Okay.
So we want a female vice president, yes, but they should have the authority to be in this place. So the same goes with the other levels, whether it's at director level, whether it's at parliamentary level. There has to be the functionality that is very evident and everybody else is able to see that this is a woman, yes, and they're doing exactly what they should do in this position. It's not just a rubber stamp.
True. You've mentioned that because there has been certain notions in society where people say a woman isn't very competent in certain positions, but you've made it very clear that she has to be competent in that position.
Yeah.
Definitely. So just to bring you to another point related to the ministry, what are your views on the promise of the present government that there could be potentially free education from grade 1 to tertiary level for students?
Exciting.
Very exciting.
Yes. And it's exciting because there are a lot of children that are out of school as we speak. And so if you hear the leaders proclaiming that they will actually provide that education, for me as an educationist, it's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. And it's exciting because then I know that the power becomes, education becomes the game changer. The moment the children access the education, the moment they are able to acquire the skills, they are able to be in a place where they can make decisions for themselves, whether it's sexual reproductive health, whether it's getting married, because then they have these life skills in them, they know how they can start their own enterprises, for example. They can also be at a place where they begin to participate in the governance of the country.
Wow.
So we are creating a whole cohort of children that will come and be leaders tomorrow.
Definitely.
So it's very exciting for me.
Okay. So in terms of Plan International Zambia, is there any other examples? You mentioned the schools that you work with. Are they cover all 10 provinces within Zambia, or where are your target areas within the country?
So like I said in the beginning, we are working in Luapula. We're working in Eastern. We're working in Central. And now part of Lusaka is part of our programming.
Okay, and you plan to expand to other areas as well in the country?
We are not limited to those. Those are like traditional areas where we work, but we are open to working in other areas. And we have gone to other areas. We've worked in Western Province, for example. We've worked in Northern Province. So depending on the funding that we get, we are open to working in other areas within the country.
Okay. Sorry to put you on the spot. If I may ask just one question. In terms of the encounters which you've had with the girl child, is there one particular example of someone that you worked with that really inspired you, a girl child who was really progressing under your program?
There are a lot.
There are a lot.
There are a lot.
Okay.
And there are a lot because we are an organization that tracks and grows these girls, but also bring them back to the table where we work, and we discuss, and they also grow others. So there are a lot of examples in the country, a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So a child that starts off as part of our programming gets re-entered into school, is mentored and coached into the different levels of education. Eventually they go into tertiary, and then they also begin to teach others. I mean, that's a powerful story.
Yes.
We don't want a crowd. We may not get the crowd that we want, but the 1-2 people whose lives we touch obviously begin to touch others. And I think it's those small little achievements that for us become bigger things. So when we see the girls excelling, when we see the boys supporting the girls excelling, then we're good to go.
Definitely, and I think this is also something which starts in the homes as well, because tradition teaches us that the girl child usually is supposed to be home, cleaning and washing. So I think your initiative is very powerful.
Yeah. So because we understand that girls are socialized at home, so we also work very closely with parents. We also engage them and allow them to give us their side, but flipping it over and saying, listen, this is what has happened. You've had girls married off. How many of us have become rich? Okay? So the investment in education takes a bit longer, but I think what you reap end of the day is much more. I may not have a formal job where I go to the office. I just may acquire skills that will allow me to be an employer myself and get others on board as well. So we have a lot of work with communities. We have a lot of work with policy makers. We have a lot of work with the decision makers as well, and the children themselves, because at the center of everything that we do, the children have to participate. This is not about plan. This is about the children. And more so, we want to see an increase in the number of girls that are participating in the education process, but are also being the champions that bring others to that space.
Wow. Thank you very much. That was Mrs. Anele Chibwe Masuku from Plan International Zambia. You're watching Camnet Television on just another channel, and we shall go for a short commercial break.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel. The Camnet October Conference is fast approaching. To participate in the forthcoming conference, you're required to book your seat by paying 750 kwacha per person per day. Date 1st and 2nd October 2021. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill. Guest speakers include Professor Reda, Professor Munkumba, Mr. Nkuruma Kalaluka, Dr. Musonda, Dr. Sitima, Anthony from USA, Dr. Mwale, Honorable Bob Sichinga, Elias Bondela, and your hosts, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chiluba.
The deadline for payments will be 28th September 2021. Any late payment made after 28th September will attract a penalty fee of 200 kwacha per person.
Make your payments through mobile money for MTN 096 296 5883, for Airtel 097 975 3010. Our banking details are 913 000 182 5325. Stanbic Bank, Kablonga Branch.
Great interview, I would say, Michael.
Thank you, President.
You learn. We learn every day, one or two things. Now, I love the fact that she mentioned that just because you're a girl doesn't mean you have to be a typical girl. You know, way back, women were not allowed to run for certain positions in government. They had tagged a woman as her job just being in the kitchen. But now things are changing. We're seeing female presidential candidates. We're seeing female members of parliament. We're seeing female vice presidents. We're seeing female presidents and stuff like that. So I just feel like we're trying now to understand that a woman can actually do as much as a man can do, but we still go back to the Bible and say a man is the head of the house. So we're not really competing with the men. We're just trying to let the world know that we also have the brains to do certain things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just like here on the show, Precious, you are our team leader, and me, I'm like your VP. You're like the...
I don't understand certain things that Michael said. But anyway, for those that have just joined us, unfortunately we've come to the end of this show. We talked about quite a number of things. Hope you've learned one or two things from our interview and stuff like that. But remember to also make a date with us next Saturday, same time, same place on Camnet TV, not just another channel. Well, from me, Precious Mzea Sakaleji, Michael Chota, and on behalf of our guests that came through, Madam Aneli Imasiku, on behalf of Elijah and Isaac Chifita, and also our CEO and Director, Pastor Victoria and Moses Chiluba. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching The Breakfast Show.